So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I'm joined in the couch by Enrico, and he's the singer, guitar player. He also sings in the Italian progressive metal band, the Moor, and we're talking about their latest album that they released, I believe it's like back in March of this year, and it's called Ombra, which I know it's Italian for, like in Spanish, it's called sombra, shadows. So
Correct.
yes, so it's basically you're just missing the S. So it's all about the album's name is Shadow. So Enrico, how are you tonight?
I'm feeling very well. And yeah, first of all, cheers to everyone here. And thank you for this nice interview. And yes, I feel great because I just came back from my summer vacation in Croatia. So yeah, couldn't be better.
Oh, I haven't been to Croatia, but it seems like a very lovely place to go. And plus, it's near Italy.
Yeah, so it's also pretty close to Venice, indeed. So, like 3 hours of driving for a cool summer beach there. Nice sea, snorkeling, fish, nice wine. Yeah, it's cool.
Sounds like a good vacation. And I gotta say, I love your microphone and the light. That looks very cool. I gotta get me like a great microphone for that. I have one, but it's hidden and it's not as great as that one. So yeah, and I love the blue light to it. So I hadn't listened to the Moor before, so it was good to discover. I got sent the promo, and it says progressive, and I love progressive music. So I did a dive into listening to your music, and I obviously listen a lot to this album, which I believe this is your third or is it your fourth? Because I was looking online, like I found like two
Third,
before you started in 2012. So this would be your third record, right?
yeah, correct. The third one.
Yeah. So I know it took a while from this one to the last one that you did. So you had like time to like really hone in or craft like uh how would you say that Enrico that the sound evolved to this third record from your previous like the first two records?
Actually, from one point, it's like uh, evolve. Yeah, okay, evolve. But from another point of view, it's also coming back to our roots,
Mm.
because at the beginning we used to play metal since we were kids all together, especially with 3/4 of the band. So with Davide, the guitarist, and also Massimo, the bassist of the band, we have been playing together since we were kids. And we've been playing in a band, in a melodic death metal band, which was called Bleed in Vain back in the 2000s years, so almost 20 years ago. And then when we formed the Moor in 2010, so like 14 years ago, the main point was about making some kind of metal, progressive, melodic stuff. We didn't care about any any genre, And we went to Sweden at Fredrik Nordstrom's studio Fredmans in Gothenburg already in 2010 to record our demo tape. So it sounds kind of weird for a band to move to Sweden just to record a demo tape and on another album,
They
but
love their
we
metal
already
in Sweden.
I've been told that too. Yeah, and yes, so because we already know the producer Frederick because we've been working with him in 2004 with Bleed in Vain. So yeah, we thought about starting a progressive metal band. Then the first album, when we signed for Lion Music, Finnish record label, it was more more towards the hard rock, scenario instead of the metal or even death metal, But it was kind of weird. It was kind of a progressive album with some 70s approach there, like Hammond and pianos, but even growl vocals here and there. So then the second album, Jupiter's Immigrants, we decided to have to do something to the sound again. So we moved back to Sweden and mixed the album there. We also have been honored to collaborate with Mikael Stanne from Dark Tranquillity on that album, and
great artist.
Yeah, on the title track at the time, and then I started to develop, a different sound. We changed the tuning, everything, and decided to go into, like a dark side of our minds and our creativity process. So that's why also I spoiled, a little bit about the title of the album, Ombra. So yeah, it's a dark
for people
album.
who Google it, because if they don't know Italian, or it sounded to me, because you look at the album cover, the pictures that you took, you can't see yourselves. So I'm like, it has to be shadows. So yeah.
Yeah, correct. But yes, it also reminds of the Latin Umbra, so maybe it's kind of it's kind of there. So yeah, so to answer your question, yes, I think that everything went more mature, and we focused on a message. Okay, this time. So the album is a concept, and that helped too. So now the sound is more melodic death metal oriented. So it's something between dark progressive, and melodic death metal, let me say. So yeah.
Yeah, no, the album has some like more quieter, somber parts. And also then it has, like you said, the more aggressive stuff. I really like the opening that you have, the intro to Tema de la Ombra with Max Lombardo, because it felt like a classical composure, like composition to like a movie or a play at the beginning. So it felt, and I like ever since I saw like Metallica with the symphony, I've always thought that, metal and symphonic classical music go hand in hand in this type of music. So tell me a little bit about having that as the introduction to this record.
So yeah, actually that intro, Il tema dell'ombra, is a song composed by our former drummer, who now lives in Hollywood, in LA, in the US, and he's now a professional movie scorer for the movie industry. And
he has the talent for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that Max Lombardo?
Yeah, Max Lombardo.
Okay.
So yeah, Max Lombardo is for me and for us, he's a freaking genius, and yeah, he has always been, one step forward, and I still remember almost 13 years ago, when he said, "Oh, I need to move to the UK because I want to study movie scoring and blah blah. What should I do with a band?" And we were like, "Oh, Max, you absolutely need to follow your instinct because you have all the cards."
He's very talented. That intro is great, and I think it's very nice of you guys. Like there's no bad blood. Like he's not in the band, but he comes and to do this and be like the opening to this concept record, which I think really sets the tone for what's to come.
Yeah, and also I think that it's so good to have something great like that, composed by, you know, not only a friend but also a former member of the band. He was the drummer of our first EP, or the first demo tape. And yeah, by the way, you can check him out, maxlombardo.com.
Oh, I'm
He
gonna check
worked,
it out because I love that
yeah,
part.
he worked on the, also on the latest Super Mario Bros. Movie, and in the video
Which I
games.
have kids, so I've seen countless of times.
Yeah, yeah. So he worked on all the composition there, also on video games like Cyberpunk, and also on Amazon Prime TV series. But he has the list on his website, so yeah, be sure to check it out. And also he also composed an album which is in Spotify, which is some kind of a orchestral album inspired by, you know, Morricone stuff.
No, sounds pretty interesting. I'm gonna go check it out because I really thought that it was like very different to have the album start that way. Like it, you know, you have the orchestration and it really, like you hear that, I'm like, yeah, this like this is going to be like a awesome concept record, and it goes into straight like a more death metal progressive track with the Overlord Disease, which I thought was great. That you go from that beautiful like orchestration to like death metal.
Yeah, yeah, that's the point, because we have been used to associate orchestration in the metal, you know, in the metal scene, like with power metal, epic metal, that kind of stuff. So uh, maybe someone will expect something like power metal to come afterwards, that intro, but we didn't care about it, and we wanted to just to go with a flow with that, and yeah, we are
Yeah,
very happy on how we turn it out.
yeah. Who makes these rules? Like, there should be no rules to music. It doesn't have to be power metal. I don't know. I thought it was a great like contrast from that and go to that. It's like boom, there you go. Uh, Plus, so this is a concept record. So I'm guessing it has something to do with shadows or like. So tell me, loosely explain to me what the concept of this record is about.
The concept is very simple, and it starts from the thing that I was conscious that the band uh, never went that far in the music industry, and always been in the underground, or maybe a little bit
Like in the
above the
shadows.
underground. So
Yeah. Mhm.
correct. So yeah, we always lived in the shadows in a artistically way, you know. So yeah, so that is a point. So living in the shadow from an artistic way, and from a songwriter perspective. Then about the shadow of our mind. So yeah, let's just to make an example, the dark passenger of the TV series Dexter, as an example. So our dark passenger, so is our shadow, and there, which is not necessarily negative thoughts, not bad thoughts, but just something that always follows you, and maybe you are a bit scared about it, like a shadow. Okay, but sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's something that you need to have on your side. So that kind of things. Then, last but not least, there's also a curiosity about it, because I always love to put some kind of Easter eggs on our titles here and there, and sometimes that words means something in the Venetian dialect here, and Ombra here in our area
Mhm.
means glass of wine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and I've been there, so now I'll know. So if I go back to Venice, if I ask for an ombra, they'll bring me wine.
Yeah,
Okay, now
red wine, red
uh,
wine.
yeah, I'll ask for that when if I return. I need to return. Italy is a great country, great food. I shall try to return. So yeah, there's some great songs on here. One of my favorite tracks from this record is "This River Spoke." I thought that
Yeah,
one was like, especially on that one, vocally, you do a lot of like, there's some clean singing and almost like the singing, you try to put it real high up there, and with the progressive and the death metal, I thought it was like a very, it felt like a almost kind of soulful type of song. So tell me a little bit about the themes on this river spoke.
well, that is a great song. I agree with you. Is probably one of the best in the record. That's why we decided also to record a video of that one too. Uh, yeah, and we can also spend a word about the video that because it's a great video, and it was made by the Costin Chioriano, who's been working with artists like At the Gates and Isan from Emperor, and yeah,
Oh yeah, I
is
know Isan.
Costin is a great artist. So yeah, I think that the video also reflects the spirit of the songs 100%. And this River Spoke is a simple song because I think that on a harmonical way and yeah, about notes and scales and all that stuff. The song is pretty simple, but plays on 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 a couple, on a couple of sensation. So that's why there is a big contrast between the vocals, because sometimes I always like to change from clean vocals to growl vocals to shout vocals uh, on an eclectic way, because that's part of my influences and what I like to do. So I think that this River Spoke is a big, like a yin yang, black and white
Mm-hmm.
of the album, which is reflected also in the cover, the black and white, and this River Spoke is all about that.
Yeah, and the
So
music
yes,
video, you have like there's like the animation and you guys, and it's all being black and white, which goes with the
yeah,
themes of the record. So yeah, I'll post the link for people who haven't seen the music video down below, so people can watch it.
thank you.
Yeah. So you like to this is an album that explores like that yin and yang of like light and shadow, because light and shadow, you need light in order to have the shadow, which is
Yes.
it's interesting. I don't know if you have kids, but there's a Netflix movie called something about Orion and the dark, and it's just a movie explaining of how kids shouldn't be afraid of the dark. And they have like two entities. They have the dude who brings the light, everyone loves him, and the dark, and the guy who brings the dark. Which if you haven't seen it, it's a very, for a kids movie, it has like a very interesting like message.
I should definitely watch it. I didn't know about it. Didn't
Yeah,
know
no,
about
it's
it,
pretty
and yeah,
interesting. I watched it with my kids, but they didn't want to watch it a lot of time. But it's good because a lot of kids, and there's adults still that are afraid of the dark. I don't know. For me, when I go to sleep, I want it to be as dark as possible. But there's people that love it, afraid of it. I think it's a fear of like it's dark. You don't know what could be lurking in the shadows. It's like a fear that we get from probably being a child and the boogeyman and movies.
yeah, definitely worth it. I think. Yeah, I should check it out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So other in this, after this one, that one, this we were spoken, you have another great song with Lifetime Damage. I thought that one was great as well. Tell me a little bit about that one, because they followed each other. I thought that it was like a very, like it's in the almost in the middle of the album, and it really picks up the pacing.
Yeah, it's the fifth song, the sixth if we count the intro as well. And Lifetime Damage is yeah, you spotted another great thing because the lyrics of that song were co-written together with a great friend of us who now lives in Canada, and has been my first guitarist, our first band, band member when we were called Bleeding Vein at the time, so when we were kids. And now he lives in Canada with kids and everything, but he's always been such an expert of everything metal, and also a great lyric writer. So yeah, everything about that song started from there, from some lyrics. And also another curiosity about that song, it's that it was the first song that I composed for the record. So yeah, and also that song it's the oldest one, because I composed that song maybe right after the second album. So that song stayed there for a long time. Lifetime Damage is compared to This River Spoke is a punch in the face, a punch in the stomach concerning emotions, and it's a strong song that shouts about things that changes your life forever. So both death and newborn babies. So life and death. Because
I can relate to both. I think
yeah,
anyone can relate. Yeah.
So it's a song that speaks about losing someone that you love, and also find the love of your life at the same thing. So it's this kind of stomach turn. It's a Lifetime Damage.
Yeah, this is a very deep record. That's the progressive side of the band, a very deep record. And you on this album, I noticed that you don't also mention a lot of things doing with shadow, but you also mention a few things like with water, with our tides. Like there's like a thing of water with also like the shadows, which I thought it was interesting. And you end the record with a song called First.
Yeah, I didn't think about that actually. We always had a connection with water. Also with our previous songs.
Living near Venice, you have to have a connection with water.
I think that I also made like a social media story somewhere in time when I was in the boat in Venice, and I took a picture on the boat to the lagoon, and I wrote something like, "This is where our inspiration comes from." So I also did a thing like that. So yes, also we did a song in 2014 together with Beyond Street from Soilwork.
You just know everyone. You're dropping names here, like I know Bjorn, I know Mikael from their Tranquility. Yeah, no, all awesome bands. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Mikael also turned out to be a great friend of us. We're also in touch, also in these days as well, for other things to come. And yes, but for returning to our initial topic, yeah, Lifetime Damage. It's a song about not trusting what others tells you to do, in your life. So it's which is, of course, it's a basic thing with music. So
no,
it kind of explores this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so for you, Enrico, what's when you're writing lyrics and themes, what what is your process when like when you're like sitting down to write a song?
It's a weird process because it's not always the same, and the process has changed towards years, and I think it's kind of natural and it's a good thing. In the latest years, especially in the latest 3-4 years after the pandemic, uh, the process of writing lyrics and writing the songs is kind of is something that kind of happen like closing my eyes and dreaming and imagining like a scene or something. So I actually close my eyes and I start to imagine uh, some kind of allegoric things and a concept behind that song. Then I start to write down some phrases in
Mhm.
not not in a particular order, just some phrases around there, and then I start to write the meaning of the song. So, and that is why I we also published a book, a lyric book of this album, Ombra. I think I should have a copy also. Uh, it's not here. I think it's not here. It's
No, it's
somewhere
okay.
else. Yeah, we also printed a lyric book, and besides the lyrics, I also write down some other phrases that didn't come up to get into the lyrics, official lyrics, and also some kind of key lecture keys on how to how to feel the music. But yeah, so
That's
and then
interesting, like a guide of how you should listen to a song.
yeah, and then my pickiness goes on the technical part of writing lyrics. So I start to work on the vowels and the sounds of the words. So I start to work on with the synonyms and the contrasts and the dictionary and everything, because if I need an e instead of an a in that word, I start to change the word based on the sound, because I'm very picky about the sound of the voice, because it's uh, sometimes it needs to be musical, because I always think about vocals like a musical instrument, not
No,
only a way
it,
to say words.
it is. If you're a good singer, yeah, it is an instrument. Not everyone can sing properly, and I can understand. And also, the lyrics are in English, and your first language is Italian. So, is it harder to do that in English, or have you thought of like maybe like we could do some songs in Italian, or do you prefer your prog and metal in English?
Well, actually, the title track of the album
It's an
Ombra is in
Ombra, yeah. Mhm.
yeah is in
Yeah,
Italian. So
yeah.
and when I wrote that song, that lyrics, I immediately thought, why didn't I
Do it before.
this? Yeah, do it before earlier. Yeah, why? So yes, maybe back in the days when I was a kid, it was writing in English was harder, because but it was like the international way of to get some fans also from outside Italy, and that's it was like the way to go, because it was just the international way that people consume music. So back in the day, it was maybe harder. I can also say that I think that our old lyrics maybe are not that great. Maybe they are great with the content, because they were thought in Italian, but not that great in the translation. Maybe they are, of course, they are correct, but maybe they are not thought already in English. While in this album, Ombra, I always start to think in English and write down things in English.
Yeah,
So
as someone who speaks two languages, I can totally relate because sometimes I think something in Spanish and I have to translate it to English. So
yeah,
yeah, it's not always the same thing because we have words that mean different meanings. So but this time you did it differently. Maybe it becomes like you've been a band now for more years. Maybe you know more like what you want to get out. Like lyric wise in that language. So I want to show the artwork for the album for people who haven't
please do.
seen it. Yeah, and we can talk about the artwork. So here it is, the artwork for Ombra. So yeah, I like it because there's like a you have like the shiny beacon of a man and he's walking towards somewhere. So tell me a little bit about what you wanted to like what the meaning with this artwork was for you.
Yeah, first of all, this is the beautiful work of
Yes,
a great,
who's the
yeah,
artist?
of a great friend, Niklas Sundin. So yeah, the former
Was he also in
guitarist.
the band?
No, Niklas is
Okay.
yeah, okay. I get it.
No,
Is
it was a joke. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's a great one. So yeah, it's the former guitarist, for who don't know, of the band Dark Tranquility, and Niklas,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, Niklas have created all the Dark Tranquility that did the covers along the time and covers for Sentenced, Arch Enemy, and countless metal albums during the latest 25 years or so. So yeah, and Niklas also worked on our previous album, Jupiter's Immigrants, and this is kind of a bridge with that cover because we have the same character there, the same man, small man in this case, and the cover, well, artistic wise, it's maybe inspired by some kind of minimalism, like
Mhm.
from the 1930s, some kind of Bauhaus inspiration, and it's it's a simple concept about the about a point A and a point B in our life. And
Okay.
yeah, so as you can see, we also put an Easter egg. It's not an Easter egg, actually. It's just a tiny writings on the cover,
Oh,
which is
I'm seeing it right now.
yeah, which is well viewable from the in the vinyl version of the record, and this is passage of the song Passage. So it's written, this passage highlights the will, it is short as the life of the Immaculate. So which is one of my favorite phrases around the album. And yes, it's someone who is walking in his life, and the shadows is following him accordingly. So yeah, the concept is very simple, and everything is put down on a great, I think, aesthetical uh,
Yeah, it kind of
balance.
looks like an old movie poster too.
Yeah, like Metropolis.
Yeah, that it has that aesthetic.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I like
futurism.
it that the figure that's walking has like a fire in his hand. And I don't know why. And you mentioned Passage. I think of when people have near-death experiences, they always mention that they see a tunnel and they see light at the end.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting. Not that I'm not that I'm looking to have a near-death experience and find out. That's
Yeah,
the I can wait, but yeah, it's a great album cover, and I think it really goes with the aesthetics of the music.
yeah, and also if people out there are going to buy the vinyl version of the album,
you can show it now. I took it so you can show the
oh,
vinyl.
yeah, they can also see the other artworks of the singles released. This one is for this River Spoke, the Overlord Disease. We have the same man of the cover who is getting closer and closer to that kind of bridge, on the cover. So yeah, and also on the back of the album, we have this kind of trees, which are on our previous album, Jupiter's Immigrants. So this is kind of a connection. And upside these trees, we have these tiny animals, these tiny goats climbing on the trees. Yeah, that can be seen in our first album, Year of the Hunger. So
you put a lot of Easter eggs right there for anyone who's looking.
Maybe there are more like connections, but it's like a way of saying, hey, we know.
Yeah, it's like you have that on the back. It's like this is what we have done, and this is where we're moving towards.
Yeah. And at the end of that bridge, there is a tiny door. But you don't know if it's tiny or not. Maybe it's a huge door
because it looks from far away. Yeah,
far away, and that's the future. And so maybe the next album will be brighter.
Yeah, maybe. So hopefully for the next album it will take less years. I know this one probably took longer years because of everything that's happening in the world. So Enrico, the album has been out now like a few months. Did you already do some shows around it, or are you planning more shows for next year?
Yeah, we played as co-headliner at the Padova Metal Fest, which is a great festival here, and the show went great. We are planning more shows for this winter. We already have announced a show in Germany, in Stuttgart, at the Club Central, with another great band, Ombra, a dark progressive, doom progressive band. They are great, and absolutely need to check them out. And we will hit Germany as well, and we hope to hit more countries as well this winter.
Yeah, and obviously you still have copies of the vinyl. If people want to order them, they can order them through Bandcamp or your record label. Do you have like different variants? Because I think for this album it should be black vinyl, since it's called Ombra. Like a very you can make it more more black than when it comes in black, but yeah. So how many variants do you have of the record?
We have CDs, Digipack limited edition.
Digipack too.
Yeah, and then we have the one that I showed you, the double vinyl, because the album is a double vinyl length.
It's long, progressive music is usually long.
It's a bit long. It's like 1 hour and
53 minutes. Yeah, it's like somewhere around there.
Yeah. Maybe there will be versions in the near future. Who knows? Maybe a cassette. Who knows? And it's all the links are on themoorband.com, so you can find the links to Bandcamp or to the Inertial Music website, the label. And yes, and also be sure to check out also our other projects as well that you can find on our Instagram pages as well. And yes, so we are planning to do more things, and also a new album, maybe with less time this time before the next.
For you, do like once you like finish a record, like do you get like are you already thinking about the next record, or do you like to take some time to not rush things?
Kind of depends. This time I'm already writing new stuff. We are already writing new stuff for the new record, and we have already 3-4 ideas written down and recorded for the next one. So hopefully, yeah, it won't take that long this time.
Yeah, maybe we'll know what happens after you pass that door. Like
Yeah,
what's behind that door. So Enrico, I want to thank you for taking some time of your night to chat with me from Italy all the way to my couch here in Puerto Rico. I really, I didn't know the band, so I'm glad that I sometimes there's some great music there's sometimes you're bombarded with so much music that you can miss some bands. So I didn't know the band, but I got the promo and I checked it out. I'm like, yeah, I dig this. I saw progressive and I dig this type of music. And plus, like it also has that death metal element to the band with the progressive side. So yeah, I really enjoyed. So Pouchers, if you haven't checked out the Moor-Ombra, is out now. You can stream it, you can buy it. I would recommend it to people who like progressive music with death metal. And also if you like concept records, this is a concept record with an interesting concept that we've been discussing for the last 41 minutes. So Enrico, before I let you go, anything you like to say to the fans before we go?
thank you for staying with us, and thank you, Hector, also for this amazing interview. It was great, and yeah, be sure to check us out. And if you like the music, write a comment, write an email, whatever. We are a small band, and we reply always to everyone. So yeah, be sure to support us also in the way that you feel more yours, of course. And thank you again for
Yeah,
your
makes awesome. So Couchers, check out the new album by the Moor-Ombra is out now. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.